Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a new segment on my channel, which I'm calling After the Spin. After the Spin is essentially where I give my honest thoughts about the albums that I buy. I just really wanted to do, instead of like doing individual album reviews, which I might do at some point for some albums, I will mainly be going over like my honest thoughts about each album that I buy, I guess together. You saw the other video, or my last video where I unboxed my Season of Mist order, and I'm essentially going over that. So, yeah, let's get to the first album. First album that I want to go over is Kill Everything, Scorched Earth. Now, this is a very good album. If you didn't see my last video, Kill Everything released their debut album, and so far their only full-length album. They did do a four-way split with a few other bands, but yeah, so far this is their only album. It came out on Comatose Music. These guys are from Texas, and yeah, this is a fucking incredible album. Like I said in the last video, I mainly bought it for the cover alone, but yeah, the music is just as good. The song that got me into them was Kill Everything, but you have songs like Intrinsic Vexation, which is very, very fucking heavy. It's a Wonderful Knife, very, very good. The ending track, Carnivorous Lunar Activities, is a very banging track. And I also found out that there are two vocalists in the band. The main vocalist, Mike, and one of the guitar players, Weston. And I had a hard time, I don't want to say distinguishing them, but after the little booklet that comes with, each CD, they have, I don't know if you can tell, like a little marker here. The like whitish off-white color is all of Mike's work. Weston is the yellow, and then the green is both of them together, which I think is pretty good. And after, following along with the lyrics, it was really easy to distinguish the two. And yeah, this is a very solid album. Can't wait to spin it again. Well, even though I don't have my CD player, I don't know where it went. But yeah, I did listen to everything digitally. Doesn't matter. This is a very good album. Very, very solid. I don't have really any complaints about it. So, yeah. Very solid album to begin. Apotheosis, Ergo Atlas. I said in my last video that these guys were a melodic death metal band. I was partially true. These guys are more of a prog metal band, which I'm fine with. Yeah, there's no blast beats, or not that many blast beats. There's some good heavy parts, believe me, there are, and there's hardly any growls in it, though. But yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. These guys are really freaking good. They're from Portugal, which I think is really cool. This came out 2023 on Black Lion Records. Same one with another album we'll talk about. But yeah, this is very good, and I can honestly say, like in my last video, I will happily buy their second album, The Far Star. This is their third album. I made the mistake of saying that this is their second album, and The Far Star is their debut. The Far Star was their debut on Season of Mist. As far as I researched, I did research on these bands before when I was listening to them. But yeah, the opening track, Shape and Geometry, is really, really good. Firewall is incredible. March to Redemption, Alphase Suns is probably my favorite track on here. Just a lot of really, really good stuff. Some really good calm moments, some really good kind of heavy moments. But overall, I think it's a really good prog metal album. And I will definitely pick up their other album, The Far Star, and if I can find the debut, then I will happily pick it up also. But yeah, Apotheosis, Ergo Atlas is a very, very solid album. Solemn Vision, Despite the Rise of the Sun. This also came out 2023, Black Lion Records. This is This is the melodic death metal album, and it's very, very good. Or it's there's another mellow death album, but this is a very, very good album. And along with the majestic and gorgeous album cover, there are really, really good songs on here. Like the opening track, "Father from the Flame," is really, really good. The melodies on all the tracks are really good. "Unfinished Tapestry" is really good, and the acoustic version of that song is really good. It's the ending track. The Cerebral Labyrinth is probably my favorite song on here, besides Bane and Benumbed, the song that got me into the band. On the Eve of Silence, Debt to the Wraith, Gates, Sea of Trees is really, really good. I really, really enjoy it, and I can't wait to hear more from these guys. I believe they don't have a... Let's see. They don't have a thing in the booklet on who does what. But, yeah, I will happily do research on that. But, yeah. Solemn Vision, Despite the Rise of the Sun. Very, very good album. Very heavy. And just beautiful all around. Going to show this in its slipcase again, as well as its actual jewel case. But Stortryn's Finitude. Very, very good album. Though I believe on Season of Mist it was labeled as a tech death album, but it's more of a blackened tech death album. It has a lot of black metal elements in it, mainly the vocals, which are very high, and the vocals seem very black metal-y. They remind me of another band we'll get into here. But yeah, here's the album cover. Very, very good. But yeah, it's very heavy. I really enjoy all the tracks on here. Lost Battle Rages On is freaking insane. Dude, the solos on this album go so hard. Rise of the Insidious, Omega Axiom, the ending track, The Revelation, is really, really good. Xeno Chaos is fucking bananas. Cold Void, and the title track, Finitude. Finitude is more of a intro kind of track, but I still really enjoy intro tracks. Yeah, this is a very, very, very good album. So many great moments on here. If I can get the thing out. See who's all on here. The vocalist, Romain, is really incredible vocalist. Sam on drums, Manuel on bass, Johan and Duran on guitars. They are a Swedish... No, not Swedish. They're either Swedish or Swiss. I don't exactly remember. Yeah, this album is just freaking baller. It's incredible what these guys can do, and I will happily check out the rest of their discography. But yeah, this is a freaking bananas album. Definitely give it a listen. Gnostic, Engineering the Rule. Now, this might be a little bit of a negative thing, but if you recall my last video where I went over this and gave my thoughts, my pre-listening thoughts, I mentioned that, you know, it was only $1, so it probably didn't sell well, and I was honestly wondering why, but after listening to it, it's not a bad album per se, but I don't know if it's for me. There are definitely heavy moments on here. This came out in 2007, and it has Kevin Freeman on vocals, Chris Baker and Sonny Carson on guitar, Jonathan Thompson on bass, and Steve Flynn on drums. Yeah, it's a little all over the place in terms of what it wants to be. It was, I believe they're like a death thrash kind of thing, but I've listened to death metal bands, I've listened to thrash metal bands, and this is just a little all over the place. It isn't bad, like I said. I don't want to be completely negative here. The vocals are great. What's his name again? Kevin? Yeah, Kevin has a very, But yeah, I don't think this album is for me. But, you know, as I said, yeah, it's only $1. It's not like it's gonna hurt me at all. And I'll give it a few more listens and see if my opinion changes on it. But I only listened to it once and I haven't gone back to it. but like I said, I'll give it more listens to see if my opinions change. But you know, yeah, it's a little all over the place. Like I said, isn't the greatest thing I've ever heard, and I've listened to some freaking all over the place bands. Mainly the one being Tala. They're like a new deathcore kind of band, or new as in like new metal. This album is definitely different. Visceral went in like a few different directions. That's the opening track. Wall of Lies, Life Suffering, Splinters of Change definitely went in a bunch of directions. Pretty much every song did. The drums are solid, but it definitely has that sort of cheap sound to it, at least for the production. It isn't the worst thing I've heard. So yeah, this is Gnostic with Engineering the Rule. Not a bad album per se, but I just need more time with it. This album I've listened to many times. I think it's still great nonetheless. Tekeli Lee from the Great Old Ones. Anytime I can praise this band, any chance I get, I absolutely will. These guys are fucking insane. They are a black metal band from Germany who are a Lovecraftian themed. Very, very good stuff. The vocals on here are insane. If I had to pick an album that made me feel cold, or as if I'm in the winter season, it would definitely be this album. It's fucking insane. I really love it. The opening track, I don't know how to pronounce it because I think it's in French. But the second track, Antarctica, then the Elder Things, Awakening, The Ascend, which I mentioned in the last video. It's an instrumental piece, but it's really good. And then the last track, Behind the Mountains, is an 18-minute song. And it's all incredible. Everything about this band is just, I just love it so much. And I did get the date wrong on which this album came out. It came out in 2014. Their debut album came out 2 years prior. Yeah, and I really love this album cover too. It's like oil paints, but like it looks like it has texture to it, but it's completely flat. I love that. I love when an album cover feels 3D. And then like the CD, it just looks really cool. Let me see if I can turn that around maybe. Is that how it's supposed to go? Something like that maybe. Looks right. But yeah, it has Benjamin Guerri, Jeff Grimel, Xavier Godart, Sebastian Lalani, Leo Isnard, and Ben wrote all the vocals. There's cello on here from Quentin Gendrot, and the artwork was by Jeff Grimmel. So yeah, very, very good stuff. I definitely recommend checking this out. This is one of my favorite albums now. And I've saved the best for last. If you remember last time, there was one of the albums I mentioned, the one I'm about to talk about, I said if I listen to this band, or if the album goes good, they might end up becoming one of my favorite bands. And that has actually happened. I'm talking about Countless Skies with their 2020 album, Glow. Oh my god. I've listened to this album more than the other albums. This is such a pretty album, and it's ethereal, it's majestic, it's freaking incredible. It honestly makes me feel like I'm in the autumn season, and I love when that happens. I love autumn. I love the autumn season. I love everything about it. And just hearing these songs, like the melodies on here, the vocals on here, everything about it, so good. You have Ross King on vocals and guitar, Nathan Robshaw on drums, Phil Romeo doing the clean vocals. Actually, I didn't know there was 2 vocalists on here until I looked in the booklet, which is a beautiful booklet, by the way. Really, really good stuff. But yeah, he does the clean vocals, and dude, I don't know if he was like classically trained to do vocals, but my god, he has such an operatic tone to his voice. And the way he sings, it almost reminds me of Devin Townsend. It almost has a very kind of, it almost has like a Disney. I don't. It's really really weird to say, but the way he sings, it almost has like a Disney kind of feel to it, with how like out there it is, and I fucking love it. And then of course you have James Pratt on the other guitar, and there were also some guest musicians on here, from Ariana Messiah on the cello from tracks 2 and 5, and then Marcello Chiriello on piano from track 1, 4, and 5. Then Anthony Trimming, RJ Learmouth, and Vicky Harley doing choir for track 2. So freaking good, this album. It's most likely going in like my top albums of all time. This album is just something else. I don't think I've ever resonated with an album like this in such a long time. It's just very pretty, and this is definitely a mainstay in my rotation. Let's see, today's Sunday. I got these albums on Friday, and this thing has literally been like non-stop on my fucking YouTube Music. It's just fucking incredible. I cannot praise these guys enough. Unfortunately, this is their only like actual album on Season of Mist. They do have an EP and their first album on a different record label, which I will honestly buy and check out. But they also do have a live album from 2023 called Resonate with Ariana Messiah. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm really sorry. But the opening track, Tempest, starts out with a very, I don't want to say ambient kind of like nature sound. It almost reminds me of just nature, and then it has some clean guitar going into the heavy parts. And fucking, what is your name again? Ross? I'm really sorry. Yeah, Ross. His harsh vocals to start out with, and then Phil's clean vocals, very operatic vocals. Dude, Tempest is probably my new favorite song, like, of all time. Summon is really good. The melodies on Moon and Zephyr are insanity. And then the 20-minute epic Glow is a very, very crazy song. It has like 3 minutes of just pure melodic death metal and very clean guitar work and drum work before the vocals actually kick in. I just cannot praise this album enough. This thing is so good. And again, the album art, just, I love it so much. It's, safe to say that I will be listening to this for as long as, this, like, if something were ever to happen to this album, I really hope Season of Mist, because I literally bought the last one along with Stautron's Finitude. If something were to happen to this, I really hope that Season of Mist like restocks these. That way I can buy another one, because I would honestly buy this like 10 times over if I had to. But yeah, this is a fantastic album. Definitely a 10 out of 10. And I don't give many albums a 10 out of 10. Like, I really don't. But this one, I really, really do. I will praise these guys for the rest of my days. Well, guys, that brings us to the end of After the Spin, Episode 1. I really, really enjoyed talking about these. And listening to them is just so good, especially Countless Skies. Very, very good mellow death. The blast beats are solid, and just everything about him is good. But the other bands are incredible too. I want to go back and listen to Stautron's discography and get their discography. I want to get the Far Star and somehow get the debut from Apotheus. And I really want, and obviously the rest of their discography that these other bands have, including the fucking great old ones. But if Kill Everything were to release a new album, I would 100% buy that. Just everything that I've gotten so far has been incredible, except for the Gnostic album. But there was only one album from them, and like I said, it's all right. But that's besides the point. But I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I cannot wait to take you on another journey of Season of Mist albums, and that'll come in a couple weeks. But right now, I'm ending it here. The next video I will post, or the next videos I'm going to post, are going to be obviously train related because that is my main focus of the channel. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you later. Goodbye.